Just a small disclaimer to our D&D fans that are watching the DNDOOFS. I apologize, but the first few episodes do have some sound discrepancy that I was unable to edit out properly. So, enjoy, but also do realize that this was part of the learning process as we started to get better at making a D&D campaign. Thank you so much, and I do hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome, everybody. Let me introduce our players. We have Orin, played by Audacia, Rogue, played by Remy, Pharaoh, played by Geisaphage, and Carousel and Zafira, played by Chef. And of course, there's me, your DM, Asian Fasha Gamer. And together we are the DNDOOFS.
Alrighty then, everybody. Welcome to our very first episode of the DNDOOFS. I am Asian Fasha Gamer, your DM, and I am very excited to bring to you our very first episode. And of course, I want to give all of our players a chance to introduce themselves, starting with Geisaphage.
Alright, hi, I'm Geisaphage. Make D&D videos myself, mostly shorts, stream occasionally. Character I'm playing is Dr. Ferris Hyloon, a Darkborn Artificer Warlock.
Alrighty then, and of course, what do you do as a content creator?
I do D&D streams as well and make shorts.
Alright, and let's move on to Chef. I believe he is. Well then, while Chef is doing his little intro for his live, let's talk to Oda.
Hey y'all, what's up? This is Audacia. I'm playing Orin. He is a brass draconian bard. Not your normal bard though. No, not here. I'm streaming old Final Fantasy games, and I'm still trying to figure out the format.
Alrighty then, let's get on into Remy.
What's up, guys? I'm Remy. I'm playing Roke, Jatarian Elf, Greaser Artificer. I make mostly motorsports-based content on YouTube, a lot of drifting, stuff like that.
Alrighty then, and hopefully, well, let's see, is he still muted?
No, I'm here. Yeah, my characters.
Yes, let's introduce Chef, his characters, and what he does.
What's up, everybody? I am I'm Chef. Everybody just calls me Chef or Caleb. Doesn't matter to me either way. But I am just coming back to streaming, specializing in older style games, retro games, more the nostalgia-based stuff. So, which leads perfectly to the fact that I have a nostalgic-based podcast called Nostalgic Nerd Out, streaming on Twitch for the stream stuff, YouTube and Spotify for the podcast. But I am playing a weird combination of characters, to say the least. I am actually playing two characters. I am playing Carousel. Oh shit! I just blanked on my own character's last name. Ratataskin. There we go. Carousel Ratataskin. Sorry. He is a Squirrel Folk Beastmaster Ranger. Shut up, Alan. The best part is I'm the one out of probably everyone here who's consumed more D&D podcasts and knows that this should be fucking, smooth. But anyway, Carousel Ratataskin is a Squirrel Folk Beastmaster Ranger. His beast companion is no longer with him. And through a series of events, his new beast companion is my second character, which is a Sapphire Gem Dragonborn named Saphira Strongclaw. And she is a homebrew class called the Ruffian, and with a subclass called Brawler. So I have range, and I have up close, and I have two characters, two character voices. This is going to be fun.
Should be quite interesting. Now then, I do thank all of our players for joining us, and I hope that everyone who is going to be part of today's stream is having fun and is going to enjoy today's story. Let's begin and create the setting, shall we? The setting begins in the lands of Ansalon, within the kingdom of Thorbarden, ruled by the Stonesinger clan of dwarves. It has been several centuries since the great cataclysm of the King Priest and the destruction of Taladas. And though the lands have known peace for many seasons, bloody whispers of destruction waft in the winds from the mysterious continent of Atlantum, and the king of Solamnia has been building their military might for the past year for unknown reasons. But the neighboring kingdoms of Thorbarden, Enstar, North and South Urgoth have noticed and begun mobilizing their nations for potential conflict with Solamnia. The Empress Lamash is the current ruler of Solamnia, and it was when she was crowned Empress after the mysterious and violent death of her father that Solamnia began to recede from the former world of Kryy and its politics, sealing its borders to the once golden empire of man, now darkened in its shadow. Bellatrix, the golden dragon advisor that was believed to be still alive, is missing and hasn't been seen since Solamnia has begun amassing its military might. The Dragon Council of Metal and Stone have been called for the Great Forum, in which the metallic dragons and gem dragons from all across Kryy, young and old, have come together to seek each other's counsel as the shadow looms over all of the lands. Sightings of the army of Takashis have become commonplace when they have thought to have been wiped out. There have been disturbing reports from the Imperial League of Minotaurs that daemon have been sighted emerging from the burning seas of Taladas and taking flight in the shadow of night. The twin dragon rulers of Urgoth, mighty descendants of Huma Dragonsbane, the dwarven lords of Thorbarden, the giant king of Enstar, each guided the council of metal and stone, all see the kindling of war in set, and all await its spark. Amongst the drove of warriors, wizards, witches, and artificers, willing and unwilling souls gather as they await with bated breath for what the future brings. Our adventurers, though, have yet to meet, each on a journey all their own, be it by fate or stupid chance, have found themselves visiting the same tavern on the road to the capital of Thorbarden, Norbarden. What happens next? Only time will tell. And as we come in, I present the tavern on the way to Norbarden, a simple little establishment known as the Chicken Foot. And from within the tavern, upon the second story, lies our first adventurer to be introduced, Pharos, sitting in the top steps, listening to a young woman sing while playing piano, amongst a few other patrons who seem to be of a little bit higher born class. And in this instance, what does Pharos do?
Pharaoh's just enjoying the music. Probably is babysitting a glass of wine. He's not much of a drinker, but, when in Rome.
Alright, and as you sit and are nursing your drink, a young halfling comes up to you. Hello, sir. Do you require anything today?
No, thank you, sir. But actually, hold on. Is there anything interesting going around?
Well, other than all the gathering adventurers that are coming to make their way to the capital, from the word of the king, I don't think there's much else going on.
I was speaking more on the local level.
Oh, on the local level. Well, there have been some disappearances. But They've just been local ruffians, nobody that anybody's really cared for. Honestly, I don't think there's anything too interesting going on at the moment.
Yeah, Ferris is going to sigh then and just kind of nod at him and go back to his drink.
Alrighty then, as Pharaoh begins to continue his drink, the young little halfling begins to walk downstairs and goes once more and continues back down to the lower level of the tavern. And this halfling makes its way outside. Now, upon reaching the outside, there are several adventurers. There is a roadway, and on the side of the building, there seems to be a little bit of a ruckus. Some cheering, and some tussling, possibly. And it is here that we meet 3 of our other adventurers. Orin, Carousel, and Saphira. And a few other patrons that were inside the bar are now outside, watching exactly what's going on. And what is going on? You see a sapphire dragonborn, large of bosom, with their hands ready, facing another extremely drunk dwarf, while Carousel sits upon a wooden crate, shouting to others, "Are you ready?" And Orin washes. The dwarf faces Saphira and says, "So, you ready for this?"
Well, Saphira looks at him, just looks him up and down, sighs, and goes, "Well, I'm sorry, sir. This is going to be the easiest fucking fight I've ever had."
The dwarf looks at you with eyes quite unfocused, and before he can utter another word, and you just see a giant, grotesque puddle of greenish-brown liquid leave his mouth. But his hands are still up, and he's still ready to fight.
As soon as he starts heaving, Saphira just, sees it coming and just takes a step back. He goes, "Well, that's one part of the ring that I am not going to get anywhere near. But I will make it my mission to have you face down in it."
And at this moment, Carousel sees what just happened. What does he do?
Carousel, being the chaotic neutral squirrel folk that he is the one who's actually setting all this up and trying to run the bets. So before that, while that's happening, you just hear, all right, come on. So we got 5-1 on Saphira, 5-1 on Saphira. Saphira's gonna win. So 5 gold pieces, 10 gold. Just come on, bring the bets. And then he throws up and he goes, "Well, shit. This is gonna be easy. Anybody want to bet on the dwarf? Because I don't want to pay all y'all."
And you hear the young halfling who just walked outside pipe up, "2 gold on the dwarf!"
"I really don't want to take your money, but you're dumb enough to come out here, so... Alright, I'll take that bet. 2 gold on the dwarf."
And as you take the 2 gold from the young halfling, the other 3 patrons give you 1 silver on Saphira. And as they do so, one of them, on the very end, nudges Orin and says, "Oi, this is gonna be a one-sided fight. You gotta get your money in here."
Orin looks over at him and goes, "Why? Just give it right back."
You don't want a nice bit of coin?
No, not really. I'm just here for this. I just would, you know what? 1 gold on the dwarf that he actually lasts 1 round.
Carousel turns around, goes, just looks in disbelief. All you can see, because he's wearing a cowl, like a hood, and this part down is covered. You just see his eyes look at you. Contemplate, is this dude fucking drunk as the dwarf? And then just, all right, you heard him, guys. One gold for 1 round. Let's see how fast she can knock his ass out.
The moment the dwarf hears that, he swings. And as he swings, you just hear from his mouth. But he's not. There's nothing coming out, though. And at disadvantage, he rolls a 1. So that misses, and you just watch this dwarf gloriously swing wildly and spin like a ballerina on his own puke as he becomes entangled with the floor, the dirt, the puke, and just a little bit of the fiery embers that were coming off of the campfire next to him. And you just hear, ah! Ah!
I mean, obviously, Saphira very, very easily just sidesteps that shit.
And what does Carousel do in the face of this little debacle?
I mean, Carousel is just watching this, laughing his ass off. All you hear, he's jumped. Carousel has jumped up to the edge of the roof if we're outside, or in the rafters if we're inside the stable type of thing, and he's just trying to get a high vantage point, and you just hear him cackling, just squirrel fucking laughter, just as loud as he can, because he is having so much fun watching this dwarf make an ass out of himself. And he knows, because Saphira is his, companion, what's going to happen when she actually does decide to fight. Especially since he's shit-faced.
So the dwarf, scrambling away from the fire, makes their way towards Orin. And they are covered in dirt, vomit, and they're still obviously distressed and drunk. And they're looking at you with just you can see in their eyes, they are pleading you for help. Pleading you. And he cannot say anything, though, because his mouth is just covered in muck, and he's spitting out mud, trying to talk.
I'm gonna look at him and go, shake yes or no. Do you surrender?
The dwarf will look at you, and then look back at Saphira, and then look back at you, and then look back at Saphira, and then puke one more time, and then nod.
Hey, he quit. He doesn't want to die. I'm saying that up to the squirrel.
Carousel just looks at him and goes, "Aww, but this was gonna be fun."
You got to see a dwarven top.
I mean, true, but I wanted to see my fighter, my companion, the awesome gem dragonborn, kick his ass. Just one punch. It was just gonna take one punch.
He almost kicked his own ass with his own punch.
I know. That's why it would have been fucking funny.
That would have been sad. I'm actually trying to get this guy into. I'm assuming next below the table there, that's a little chair. I'm trying to get him into it, and I'm looking at and I'm looking over at the halfling, going, "I need a bucket."
The halfling looks at you and goes, "All right, sir," and just runs back into the tavern. Now, as this happens, at the very front of the tavern, you hear something very interesting. You hear, coming in from the distance, something you've never heard before. It sounds mechanical. It sounds loud. It sounds fast. And at the very front of the tavern shows up the strangest wagon y'all have ever seen before. But there are no horses. And it is making this odd, mechanical, sputtering, clinking, almost growling noise. And from this odd vehicle steps out Roke. And the only person currently in front of the tavern that he can see that is looking at him is a dwarven warrior with a mug in his hand, staring, gawking at this vehicle and this elf that just stepped out.
So I already know that people haven't exactly seen something like this. So I, roll in full cool guy. I got the goggles down, hair slicked back, the works, windows down, pull right up front, total douchebag maneuver. Hop out, I'll see him gawking and I'll just, hey man, cheers. How do I get me one of those in this way? And I'm assuming gesture towards what I would guess to be the front of the tavern.
The dwarf, still completely stunned by what he saw, just kind of awkwardly points at the front of the door, and you just hear from his mouth he utter, yeah.
I'll give him, the cool guy nod and saunter on into the tavern and go seek myself a beverage. Got to quench that thirst after the long journeys on a dusty road.
I really don't know why, but while Alan's trying to get this going, Remy, the whole thing with you rolling in the, your fucking apparently car just reminds me of the scene from Role Models where they roll up in the truck dressed like a minotaur. And just like everybody's just staring at it like, oh my god.
I've not seen the movie, but I would imagine, yeah.
Alrighty then. So, now, Rook makes his way into the tavern, and the tavern in itself is a very simple tavern. Wooden floors, wooden chairs, wooden tables, wooden everything, really. There's some food found on the shelves in the back. There's a very busy bar with about 9 to 10 patrons strewn about. Multitudes of races. There's elves, there's dwarves, there's halflings. And they're all just talking, happy, and most of them look like adventurers. They look like either soldiers or veterans that have been on the road for a long time. They're all enjoying a drink, talking merry. You hear various conversations going around, as well as you see 4 barmaids. 2 of them are already serving. Both barmaids are elves, and the 3rd barmaid is a halfling. The only one that's not serving anyone, of course, is standing in front of the bar with a bunch of empty mugs in front of her as she's demanding from the bartender attention. And, of course, all of you have heard Roke enter into or at the very least, make their entrance to the tavern, seeing as you have all heard this vehicle. So, is there anything that anybody does at this time other than stay where they are?
I'm curious, and 2, I don't want to be responsible, so I'm gonna try to get this dwarf inside, flag down an employee, and go, this is your problem.
Did the rest of the people that were wanting to see the fight go on, did they go inside too, or are they still chilling around?
No, they went inside.
Alright, I guess Carousel will jump up on Saphira's shoulder, and I guess they're gonna go take a, better look and try to figure out what the hell this thing is.
Ferris would have come downstairs too.
Yeah, sorry, we went inside looking for the person who was driving it.
For whatever it's worth, during that interim time while they're traveling in, I would have just, not the most social person, but not a shy person by any means, loves to just, bullshit and shop talk. So I totally would have just found an open-ish spot at the bar and just waited my turn to get, a beer, an ale. Do the cool guy thing with the sunglasses and the hair slick too.
I'll go walk in and go, who has a contraption that sounds like a dragon with indigestion?
Saphira turns around and just looks at him. Because, we're both dragonborn, sir.
No, seriously, that sounds like a dragon that ate the wrong sheep.
I will laugh hearing this from over there, and I'm not going to call out to you, but I will lightly try to make my presence known, I guess. Maybe lightly offended by the gesture. I'm not sure yet.
It'd be a compliment.
Alrighty then. So, now that everybody is gathered, Oren, a bartender, not one of the barmaids, but one of the bartenders, actually comes up to you and grabs the dwarf from you to help you out, stating, "Oh, he's just had a little bit too much. He's okay. We've got him. We've taken care of his kind before."
Oh yes, I don't. He's projectiling 4 times now.
Oh, we've dealt with that. It's okay. He's a bit of a wee thing. He's young. We've got it. Thank you so much for bringing him in.
No problem. Might want to cut him off a couple ales short next time.
He only had one.
Where? Take away his dwarf card. What the heck?
Oh, like I said, he's young. We're trying to teach him how to drink. He just doesn't know.
Give him a human drink next time. You might be able to handle it.
Hearing that, because I'm sure Carousel is within earshot of that, you just hear the loudest squirrel laughter ever, and he damn near falls off Saphira's shoulder.
The dwarf hears this, hands up, opens his mouth, tries to say something, and the dwarf holding him goes, "Alright, that's enough. Let's take you to the back." And of course,
Carousel gets himself under control.
No, go ahead.
Carousel gets himself under control, and you just see him, like, from Saphira's shoulder, just watching him go. And, like, does the dwarf turn back and look at Carousel at all?
No, the dwarf is at this moment, like, in the throes of his nausea.
Damn, because Carousel was totally gonna just blow him a kiss.
You see the dwarf taking this other dwarf essentially to the back room, and they pass by Pharos. And Pharos, as they pass by, you smell just how putrid and horrid that vomit was.
Eros is just gonna gag as they go to.
And as this occurs, to Roke, that young halfling that was barmaid, the young halfling barmaid that was working in the front and trying to get the attention of the bartender, finally fulfills her orders and makes her way to Roke. And she is quite small, but half of her body weight seems to be her bosom. And she looks up at you and goes, "Well, hey there. How can I help you?"
We're gonna get something to refresh the palate, if you will. What's your finest ale, ma'am?
"Well, we got our House Brew, and then our finest ale has got to be our Silverian Ale. It comes from the forests, and it is, well, it's really expensive. Are you sure you want some?"
Well, I guess how much is really expensive?
"About 2 silver per pint."
I can splurge. I'll produce my tankard, very busted, repaired many a times, trusty old thing, for a fill, and I will pay the necessary amount.
"Well, thank you kindly." So she takes your tankard and she makes her way to the front bar, and she gets it filled. Bringing it back, it is filled with a amber liquid that smells of peaches, flowers, and pine.
Take a big old swig. I'm assuming it's delightful.
Yes.
I will enjoy savoring it. I'll turn around and do the cool guy thing, like the one arm on the bar, and sit back and I guess look towards the people that inquired about my beautiful rig out front.
And do y'all do anything as this elf gazes upon y'all that, heard your comments about their vehicle?
I look over at the squirrel, because I'm sorry, I can't remember names yet. And I go, how about, since I ruined your fun, I buy you and your friend here a drink?
Sure. That sounds good. Drinks are always welcome.
Yeah, and I want to go talk to the guy with the loud thing. I want to see what he came in here with.
Do you say that to them, or is that just use it? Okay. Saphira just rolls her eyes, because, that's Saphira. And Carousel's like, "Ooh, yeah, let's go talk to him, because that thing is fucking cool."
Okay, we walk up, I guess.
Eros is gonna essentially get in line as well, seeing he's gonna deduce it was Roke and just kind of walk over.
Alrighty then. As you all come closer, another barmaid approaches you. This one being a young elven barmaid with fair skin and dark hair. She looks up at you and she says, "What do you want?"
So, Saphira, and go, what would you two like?
Saphira looks at him and goes, "I don't really care. You're paying, so you're the one that has to pay for it. So, whatever you deem within your budget will be perfectly fine." Then Carousel looks at him and goes, "Do you guys have any Fey ale? Something from the Fey realm? Just asking for, research purposes and totally not because I want it."
She looks at you and she has the most dry look on her face as she answers. "Look around you. We have wood floors. We've got wooden tables. Do you really think we have anything Fey here?"
Carousel just raises his hand. "I'm here."
She rolls her eyes and just, "What you want?"
Give me an ale, a mead, something fruity, but also nutty. Maybe an acorn base with a little bit of berry finish.
All right. So, she looks over at Pharaoh and is like, "And what do you want?"
He just rolls his eyes. It's like, "I'm good, thank you."
All right, whatever. And she walks away, and you hear her as she walks away muttering, "I'll give you something with fucking nuts and goddamn berries, fucking fruit."
I didn't order yet, ma'am.
She still keeps walking away. But as she walks away, the young little halfling who was serving Roke comes back, giving him, asking you, "Oh, I'm so sorry. What can I get for you?"
Do you happen to have any elven drinks?
"We do. We got a real nice elven ale that we got from the Sylvanasti Elves, and it's quite nice, but it is a bit pricey."
I look over at Saphira. Sound good to you?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
2, please.
All right, well, I'll be right back with that. Y'all have a nice day.
And I hand her 5 silver.
Oh, ain't she just a sweet little thing?
I try.
I love this halfling barmaid, whatever. The hospitality's right there.
Well, between the two, we have average hospitality going on. That's in character, by the way.
Bless your little heart.
I look over at the elf with the goggles and go, "Were you the thing that's literally the second loudest thing I've ever heard in my life?"
You got it, Chief.
Yes. By the way, what I said earlier is the loudest.
I'll give you the acknowledgement nod.
So, what are these things on your eyes?
I got them up on my head now, but they're just some goggles. Keep your eyes fresh while you're working, driving, stuff like that. Got to keep the dust out. Multi-purpose, if you will.
Nice.
Take them off, kind of like hold them out. They're just goggles. Nothing special.
I've never seen a set. I've never seen these things before.
Assuming you don't outwardly appear of nefarious intent, I'll let you look at them. I have no qualm.
Yeah, but I just look at them. I kind of look at them, hold up to my eyes, and I go, "Where's the picture set of these?" And I hand it back to you.
Well, with enough time, I might be able to maybe fashion the set. I made this set myself, but imagine any good craftsman could probably pull off such a thing.
Oh, it'd be so nice to have something to cover my eyes while I'm flying through the sky. I hate flying through mosquito swarms.
Never seen goggles before. I'll give that one of those sort of expression type things as I take a sip.
I'm new to this area.
And as the conversation continues, the elven barmaid returns and slams in front of Carousel their drink, spilling some of it, and says, "Here's your fruity drink," and walks away.
"Thank you, bitch." So where's the halfling one? Because she's actually nice. I'm going to see if I could get a refill because this one is mostly gone. And I don't exactly trust the elf. She might have done something to it.
And as you say that... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, can I look in the cup and see if anything's floating in it?
Roll for perception.
First roll of the game is to find out if somebody fucking hawked a loogie in my shit.
There's a coin in the bottom of your cup. You're conscripted to service now.
Let's see here. My perception is +2, so that makes a dirty 20, sir.
You look at you look into your cup and you see a very dark, deep, almost berry-like liquid, and at the very center you see a dodecahedron that's silver, and it says another. I'm kidding. Now, what actually happens? You look in your drink. So you look in your drink, and you notice that half of the drink is spilled. Your cup is a nice oak carved cup that has a amber coating on it to keep it sealed, and there's just liquid drops everywhere because it's spilled everywhere on the table as she put it down. But you don't notice anything off about it. There's no floaties. There's no extra foam. It seems like she didn't decide to spit in it this time.
Don't spit in that cup. It's for a cop.
And of course, as you do this, the young halfling comes by and is like, "Well, I've got your drinks right here. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you so much for being part of our little quaint tavern."
Ma'am, could you do me a favor and find some way to give some of your cheer to your coworker over there? She spilt half of this poor man's drink, being rude, serving him his drink. Is this how your establishment treats its customers?
Oh, well, she's the owner's daughter, and she has to be here, but can't really say anything to her because she's kind of violent, and we're all a little bit afraid of her. She hasn't really hurt anybody, but we've seen what she does to people she doesn't like.
Carousel perks up at violent.
Does she like to fist fight? Looking right at the squirrel, smiling.
He's got one eyebrow cocked, like, come on, let's get this going.
Is Pharaoh standing nearby all of us too?
Yeah, I've walked up, I assumed. I'm just letting y'all talk, though.
I'll do all the flavors in the world, and she shows salty, you know what I mean? And give you like the little arm nudge since you've been quiet.
He's just gonna laugh. He's like, "Well, if I had ordered, she definitely would have spat in it. So guess you lucked out there."
So Carousel being a Fey being, because in this world, squirrel folk are Fey, he turns around and looks, and because he hears that, and he's like, "Why would she have spit in yours? I was the one who apparently was being mean."
He's gonna look at Rogue and be like, "Some elves don't like us, Darkborn."
And as you say that, the young halfling will pipe up, "Oh, pish posh! That hasn't been a thing for such a long time. Nobody cares about that anymore."
But elves are long-lived, and grudges are hard to let go.
Well, I'm sorry that she made y'all feel like that. I'm gonna refresh your drink for you on the house. And is there anything I could get for you?
Me?
Yeah, it doesn't seem right that she just kind of snuffed you. I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm quite all right.
Well, if you need anything, you know where to find me. I'm gonna go get your drink right now. I'll be right back. And she walks away. As she walks away, you hear another group of adventurers boisterously make their way into the bar and order more drinks. And as they walk by, you hear them talking about some disappearances that have been going around town.
Anything particular we hear, or?
Now, we'll go into that in a moment. This is actually a moment that we're at the hour mark, so we're going to take a small break.
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb, or as you know me as Hey I'm Chef. I am a somewhat content creator. I've kind of taken a break on making the actual content and just doing stuff here with Alan or Asian Fascia Gamer. We have Monday, Bunch of Goofs, the livecast podcast that him, Oda, and myself do. And every other Friday we have the DNDOOFS, D&D podcast that we are putting together. So if you want to see this face on anything right now, it's with Alan stuff, or you can follow me on all my socials at hey_I'm_chef. Until then, I will see you guys later. Have fun with the content. Peace.
Well, hey everybody. Did you know that Agent Vasha Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, and Random Skull is here to help tell you about it.
And that's right, we're doing this announcement together.
And when you subscribe to Patreon, you get to see content early, and of course, make requests for content on YouTube, and even on Twitch and TikTok. It's all up to you.
And of course, if you want to support Agent Vasha Gamer, check out these links. And of course, there are also links in the link tree.
And remember, when you subscribe to Patreon, you can also leave a message saying that Random Skull is better than Mr. Announcer.
Now, was that even really necessary?
Now then, as we come back in, last we left it, we were talking, and there was a question that was actually being asked by somebody.
Yes, I do. I was. I'll go get Saphira and I'll go, do you want me to get her to pick a fight with you so you guys can get your fist fight in?
Saphira looks at you, looks back at her. Sure, I could always fight.
And I'm going to patiently wait for that really rude barmaid to come close by.
All right, as that goes on, what are Roke and Pharos doing?
Now that it's kind of calmed down for a second, Pharos will look over at Roke and be like, so, is that your machine? Did you build that?
Yeah, not entirely by myself, some help from some friends, but yeah, a little bit of we'll call it a modification. I modified it myself.
Very interesting. Never seen anything quite like that. One thing, I can't tinker on that level, but I make things like, and he's going to just kind of move his cloak slightly to show his gun. It's like, I can make things like this.
I will definitely look impressed, as I am interested in any type of anything of that nature. So definitely would start probably just start going as long as the conversation is not interrupted and or like ended by somebody. Roke will just like talk to endless lengths about mechanical things, his cart, anything of that nature.
Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna sit there talking, like go over how the gun was put together and ask about the cart.
All right, so as that conversation goes on, near Orin, the elven barmaid just huffily sits down in front of the bar, looks at the bartender, and just hits the bar once. And the bartender goes to the back and grabs a drink. And you just see her down the whole drink in one go.
I look over and I go, look at her and I go, are we having a bad day, ma'am?
She looks over at you and goes, fuck is it to you?
Well, you were rude to my friend here, and you're being rude to everyone else, so I was wondering if this is an unusual thing, or are you just a fucking...
Hit him with the hard T.
Okay, then. Alright, so immediately, she turns around, and you see fire in her eyes. Her face has gone from RBF to raging bitch. And she just looks at you like, what the fuck did you just say?
See, that's much better. Anger suits you so much better than whatever the hell you had out there before. Now you're just being a bitch. That's much easier to deal with.
Carousel is on the bar, like standing on the bar, jumping up and down, clapping, while Saphira cracks her knuckles.
Now, would you like to work some of this fire in your belly out? To have a great way, and it will also help promote this place. And if you succeed in the challenge, I'll let you beat the snot out of me.
So, you see her slam on the bar once more, and the bartender just immediately produces another drink. She downs it in just one gulp and says, to hit you in that smug little face, I'll do anything.
Saphira, I found you a new opponent. Have fun, ladies. And I'm like, clear the center of the room. We're having a little bit of fun. Come on, boys. Let's have a entertainment out here, boys. Come on.
So
Saphira looks at the barmaid, cracks her neck, and goes, hi. I'm anything.
The moment that you say that and this starts going on, the you just see this little, and I mean little, old gnomish dude come out, bald, with a goatee and a twirled mustache. He's like, "What? One moment. Not in my bar. Outside."
I walked to where to the door we came in at, where they were having the fight before. I opened the door and say, "Shall we, everyone?"
Oh, Carousel's already outside waiting.
All right,
Come on, anybody who's ever been mistreated by this fucking bitch. Want to see her get punched in the face? Come on out and enjoy the show.
all right, so you see at least 9 bar patrons come out to the back area, alongside, of course, being followed by the barmaid, who is just, you just see her cracking her knuckles as she's moving forward, and you can tell she is seething with rage with every step she takes. You can almost feel the creaking of the floorboards. For some reason, this seemingly slender little elven woman, seems to have mass behind every step she takes at this moment.
I think we just got ourselves into a fucked up situation, sir.
And I'm going to make it worse. When she walked, as I'm holding the door, and she walks by, I go, "Mwah."
And as you do this, you see her eyes flash, and they are no longer human. They are a little bit bestial. They're red, and they do not look like her normal eyes. And she seems to be growing in size a little bit.
I swear to God, if this is a polymorphed fucking dragon, I'm gonna kick your ass, Oda.
Sorry.
So at this moment, what does Pharaohs and Roke do as they see everybody filing their way outside during this commotion?
Given that was all very loud, Pharaoh's gonna look at Rogue and be like, "Sorry to cut this short, but I believe my services are going to be necessary outside."
Yeah, I'm always down to watch a good smash. Let's check it out.
Giggity.
Dirty shop joke.
Oh my. Alrighty then, so...
Why do I have a feeling that we are going to completely derail this to the point where we don't know anything about the disappearances and we just jump in the fucking cart and haul ass?
I have a feeling that I'm going to disappear to the next life because I made her very, very angry, and I think she might be a little bit more than I am.
No need to worry. I can make sure you don't die.
Polymorph dragon, everybody dies. Roll new characters.
Well, I didn't want to get to my third character this fucking quick, but
Happy campaign, everybody.
Just want to point out, me and you haven't done anything to piss off the dragon, so.
You guys might survive.
True.
Alright then, so everybody makes their way outside, and it's a very familiar scene. There's a campfire, there's 2 crates, a table, 2 chairs. The floor is kind of now a little bit crusted with vomit, but it's just a dirt floor. And Carousel, I'm guessing, will take their place back on top of the crate.
yeah.
Alright, so in this particular part, you will see that, the people that came outside, including yourselves, Oren, 3 other patrons, which would be a dwarf, an elf, and a half-elf. And they're all looking in anticipation as this barmaid, who, when you first saw her, was half the size she currently is at the moment for some reason. And she is literally bursting out of her clothes. Imagine 1990s She-Hulk cartoon. And her hair grows longer. Her nails turn to claws. And you hear her howl as she unleashes a form that is just purely bestial, covered in fur, and what you see before you...
Oh, she's a fucking werewolf.
...is no longer human, but a gigantic grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Werebear, or did you get me in a fight with a fucking druid who just wild-shaped?
She just wild-shaped.
But okay, let's get this going.
You hear all of the people in the background cheering, ready for you to hopefully make good on your word.
Saphira
Right
never
before
said
they
she
go
was gonna
to
win.
square off and like actually start throwing punches, I want to I can press the digitate as a cantrip, and I can create a harmless sensory effect. Can I do the
Be
boxing
right
bell,
back.
ding ding ding, right before they start fighting?
Most definitely. But we do have to wait for Chef
The
to come
timing of
back
the
because he
pizza.
went to go get pizza.
So I actually press the digitate, the boxing bell for Chef to go get his pizza.
It was his doorbell.
Did you get your pizza, Chef?
All right, what I miss? I did. I will eat after I'm not the main focal point of the campaign.
All right. So, well, at the moment, it's still on you. You know, she's changed. She's ready to fight, and she's staring at you. As she stares at you, you just hear her growl and just roar in your face, in Saphira's face specifically.
I have an idea, but I don't know if it would be a good idea. Fuck it. She's ready for a fight. I mean, I'm sure everything will be fine. So she roars in Saphira's face. Saphira just calmly wipes some spit off of her face, breathes in real deep and opens up, and does a roar of herself using one of her breath attacks.
Oh shit!
Which, by the way, is thunder. I figured as
Okay.
soon as she turned into a bear, everybody kind of just like back the fuck up for a second.
Because this is point blank and a surprise attack, I'm gonna roll at disadvantage here. Yeah, that was a complete fail.
Okay.
That was a complete
So
fail.
1d10 thunder damage. How does a 9 sound?
So from Saphira's mouth, just a blast of thunder is unleashed in a deafening boom right at this bear's face, and she just takes all this damage and she gets knocked backwards onto the fire. And you just hear this bear as its back is getting burned by the campfire. It's deaf, confused, and in pain. But she immediately rolls over, gets up, and takes a swing at you at 15. And that ends up being 5 damage. So the way she does this is she just swings at you, and her claws graze across your chest, leaving deep gashes that aren't necessarily stitch-worthy, but they are bleeding, and they do hurt.
I wanted to do the thing where I can roll to reduce damage.
All right?
I roll a d4 to reduce.
And as long as you don't reduce it to 0, you should be fine.
I got a 4.
All right, so instead
that
you only
reduces
take
to
1
1
damage,
damage.
and you get 1 1 guts point.
Woohoo! All right. Saphira's next, correct?
Yes.
Nope, don't want to do that. All right. I guess I will just roll for a punch with the battle gauntlet. Never mind. With the plus, with the +4, that would make a 6.
Sorry.
I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
No. So you see Saphira swing, and as she goes, the bear retracts back, and the swing just misses her chin.
I guess I will use action surge to try to try to land another hit.
All right.
Let's see if this one will go. 15.
That hits.
Okay, and again the battle gauntlet. What did I say it was? 1d8 plus 2. 6 plus 2, 8.
As one misses, the
You let
other
go,
hand.
push the dog.
Yeah. As you miss with one swing, the other hand makes an uppercut towards this bear's face, and it makes contact, causing the bear once again to fall backwards onto the wooden table, which breaks in front of Pharaohs and Roke. And as this happens, you just hear her kind of make this odd gurgling noise, and you notice that through her chest, a sliver of the wood went through her chest,
Oh, that's not good.
and she's not getting back up.
She transformed back, or she stay bear?
No, she transforms back, but sadly, because the puncture is still in her, she didn't heal from the damage.
Yeah. Ferris is going to hop up and immediately try to, like, get her off that without killing her.
I rush over to help.
I'll move out of the.
I look at him and go, if we can get this out, I can stop the bleeding.
To be fair, I can as well, but if you volunteer.
I can say a word. I'm a bard, as you can tell. I have a spell that'll stop the bleeding. We just need to get this out of her. And I look over and I go, Saphira, can we borrow your strength, please?
No, brute strength probably won't be the best call here.
Okay, then what?
You have to carefully remove her from the spike, as to not damage anything else.
Okay, then I'll give you a hand as best I can.
All right, I am going to need both of you to roll a dexterity roll.
17 for me.
That would be an 11.
All right, so as you pick her up off of this spike, slowly but gently, you hear a sickening squelching sound as the spike dislodges itself from her back and starts to detract from her chest, going inward as you lift her up. And she screams in pain as you're doing this, because sadly, even though you are able to get her off of this, on Oren's side, he is a little bit unsteady as he brings her up, causing some splinters to kind of stick into her body as she comes up.
She's still conscious though, right?
She is still conscious, yes.
All right. Gonna immediately look at it and was like, all right, Dragon, do your thing.
I go, Sauna. Healing for 6 points.
All right, so as you say your spell, you see from Oren's mouth and hands a interesting glow, an ethereal glow escape as these words literally form around the wound that is on her body and close it. The bleeding is stopped. The pain is gone, but she has officially passed out from everything that has occurred.
No, well, she should be okay. I'm gonna like kind of roll her over, check her back, kind of see if I can get any of the major splinters just out.
All right. Please roll for dexterity on that one.
Can I assist him?
You can attempt to.
That's a 15.
Alrighty then. So you are able to remove the 3 largest splinters that are there without causing any excess damage or extra bleeding. Though there is some bleeding beating up on the skin because these were still splinters in the body.
Just gonna look around. So some of the bar staff is outside, right?
Yes, there's at least one member of the bar staff outside.
I'm just gonna look. It's like, bring towels, bandages, anything you have.
And the bartender that you talk to, which is a young gnome, runs in as quickly as they can, and they come back out with some towels and a bucket of water.
I'm gonna wash off with one of the towels and then kind of wrap it, like lay her on the towel, to where it's not like open wound on the ground.
All right, and she's still unconscious at the moment.
You had said she went flying over and busted the table up pretty good, yeah?
Yep.
Is there any piece large enough that I could attempt to fashion them a I forget what you call it, the thing that like a stretcher almost, if you will, some sort of something they can put her on so that they're not like, cause that doesn't seem like she's gonna be getting up to walk away, and yeah, I don't imagine they want to just pick her up. So could it something I could fashion, possibly any pieces available for that?
As you look around, you notice that there is at least one piece of the tabletop that is still large enough to be able to support her body, and you notice that there are some pieces of the table leg that you can use to fashion support struts. But the only thing that you're currently missing is some rope.
I do contain rope amongst my possessions, so I guess while they're, I'll roughly lay out the pieces as I would imagine they should be. I'm thinking like a flat board, and then like the two legs laying across it, almost underneath the board, and then I'll fashion the rope off so that it supports it all. But I'll go to my cartee and I will cut off a few feet of rope and come back, and I'll try to fashion that in the time that they are mending her.
It does take a little bit more time for you to fashion this stretcher, but you are able to finish it roughly just a little bit after they finish mending.
I was just gonna say, after I got the splinters out, Pharaoh's was just gonna stand up, kind of dust his hands off, look over at the bar staff, and be like, "Just make sure to keep it clean, and she'll probably be fine."
And the bar staff comes over and, gingerly picks her up and puts her on the stretcher as they take her inside. The other two compatriots outside, the dwarf and the elf, look at each other, and then they look at Orin, and then they look over at Carousel and be like, "We're not giving you any money for this."
Well, by all accounts, she lost. Fair is fair.
Are you telling me you're trying to back out of your word?
You can see that these two individuals are visibly starting to sweat as they stand there, like, well, no, but the fight didn't end in a knock. That wasn't necessarily an end to the fight. She got injured because of the table.
I'm literally going to spread out my wings, snarl my teeth, and go, she almost died from the punch. The only reason she stayed unconscious is because of the piece of board sticking out from her getting punched so hard. So that's how well she was defeated. And unless you want to go in and win your coin back from our lovely blue gem dragonborn friend here, I suggest you pay up or I will please on you.
All right. Do me a favor. Roll for intimidation, my friend.
Are you sure that's not persuasion?
What's that?
How much would I know about druids?
Knowing your history, you would know at the very least enough about them and their magic to be able to articulate in a scholastic fashion.
Ferris is gonna kind of be like, that's not really how druids work, but she did lose, I would say.
Fasha, that was a 22 on the intimidation check.
Alright, so these two individuals are no longer sweating. They're almost essentially visibly pissing themselves. Without doing so, of course. But you can see them shaking, quaking, and they are scared. So they drop a sack of money. At the very least, you think it's a sack of money because it sounds like it clinked when it fell. And they just run out of there.
I go down, I pick it up, and I go, good sir, I believe this is, to be divided up. Looking over at the squirrel.
He jumps down from the crate, runs over, grabs it, and opens it up. Please tell me it's actually money.
So when you open it up, you look inside, and you find there are 2 gemstones. 1 ruby, 1 sapphire, and 3 gold coins. For some reason, they're in together in a sack.
I pull out the 3 gold coins and say, this is the only coins in here, and I give it to Orin and be like, if you guys want to divide it up between the rest of you guys, you're good.
I was looking in the bag too. You didn't get it away from me. I never said I let go. I don't know you. I don't trust you.
I mean, they're just gems.
I'll take the red one. You can have the blue one.
What, you're giving me the blue one because she's blue?
And I'm a fire breather. Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Ferris is gonna walk up and be like, "Well, I kept your girlfriend from being a murderer, so I feel I deserve something."
I give you the 3 gold coins.
Yeah, that's what Carousel was getting ready to suggest.
I'll just smoke and loiter on the corner of the building.
I was gonna say the guy who didn't really do anything probably isn't gonna throw that much of a fit about not getting anything.
Does anybody stop me from taking the ruby?
No,
Fine,
Carousel
but
hands
the-
it over.
All right.
Alrighty then. So, as you guys do this, you hear another interesting noise coming from the front. And it is the sound of, it seems like almost a really robust tea kettle hooting as it seems to be moving forward. And you also hear a lot of loud clunking and clanking, and then it stops. And in the background, you just hear a voice. Oh my god, it's one of those stupid little cats. I know, brother. I know.
Carousel looks over at Rogue just to see what he says, because I know we all heard that.
For sure, if I heard them coming up, I'm gonna eyeball how many of them are rolling up on us. I gotta assess my following move.
So as Roke turns around to look, he notices one large golem-like steel defender, as well as two little gnome. And I mean, they're little. They're really little. Like extra little for gnomes for some reason. But they're standing there, and there's just two of them.
So, in terms of height, are they taller or shorter than Carousel, who's 2.5 feet tall?
They're shorter than Carousel.
Carousel is dumbfounded because he has been the shortest thing he has seen in this world since he came through the portal.
And, okay, so both of you are staring, and, Roke is looking over, and he sees just two of them. And one of them just kind of looks over at their defender golem, and then over at the card. He goes like, you see, they can never match our wonderful robot because we are the best, and they only make the little cats that go fast. We make things that go boom and kill.
It's a little gaudy.
I look over. Remy's Rook, right?
See,
Yeah, sorry, I'm dying over
And
here.
I go, if you want, I'll say something that's appropriate for the current situation, but it might piss them off. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, always. These boys can get wrecked, and I'll turn around the corner, and I'll, I guess puff up a little bit, if you will, and just, start talking shit back, get out of here, get those pieces of shit out of here.
Are you trying to compensate for the fact that somehow your dicks are small for your size?
Gonna need you. Let's see. 1 second.
he's trying to taunt.
Yeah, both of these two tiny little men turn around and they look at you, and they are wearing green vests with pinstriped pants and large brown boots. One of them has fiery red hair, and the other one has platinum blonde hair. And they look at you, and they just go, "Oh! Do you have something to say, you low-born little fools?"
That's when Carousel from Saphira's shoulder just starts breaking out. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Lowborn? Excuse you.
I'm sorry, have you looked at yourselves? You're probably the lowest born things on the planet. I'm pretty sure toddlers look down on you. Gnome toddlers!
Hey, yeah, get wrecked, boys. We don't need you around here. The carts, we already got this place covered. Go on, take your golem somewhere else.
Both of them look up at you, and the one with red hair speaks up first. "You listen here. Your little cat is nothing compared to us. We are the Pokebot Boys. We have some of the biggest and best robots. You can't tell us, the Pokebot Boys, where to go and where to be. You know who we are. Our father has so much money, and we are ready to kick your ass."
Go get a ladder?
"Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Okay, then. You want to mess with the Pokebot Boys? You get to see what we've got."
I was just gonna say after you said the ladder thing, Carousel holds out a hand for a high five.
I high five.
As you do this, you hear more clanking and more groaning and mechanical noises, and another golem appears. And outside of the back of the golem comes a little bit taller of a gnome with a tonsure style haircut. And
Oh my God, it took a shit. There's somebody came. Now the shit's walking towards us.
He steps out of his vehicle and looks down at you, all of you. You boys are causing too much of a problem. We're not here to fight. You boys go inside. It's time to go get a drink. We're not here to fight you. We're not here to talk to you. Don't look at us. All our robots. The Bucky Bot boys are too good for you. And they walk away.
I blow smoke in their direction.
Now get back here so I can taunt you a second time.
Well, that was weird. Pharaohs has no dog in this fight, so I feel like he would probably walk inside himself.
All you see is or look around going, I love the practice y'all are giving me. I haven't had a chance to insult people like this in a long time.
Alright, so I'm guessing everybody is going to go back into the tavern.
I mean, Carousel's just looking around and the fuck just happened?
Did they leave the golems outside unattended?
They are unattended, but the hatch that opens automatically closed.
Oh, that's not what I'm worried about.
But they are outside. They're just standing there.
There's two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go up to both of them. As I go by, I'm just gonna tap on one and use magical tinkering to make a message up to 25 words. And on it, it just says overcompensator on both of them.
So this appears on the outside of the golem, where essentially you would see its stomach, and it's just in bright gold letters.
I approve of this.
I gotta see if there's a time limit on it, but I don't think there is.
Are they dusty or dirty at all from walking down the road to the tavern?
As you look at them, you notice that there is some mud on the leg parts of these golems, but they're not necessarily too dusty.
Carousel uses his finger and writes "wash me" in the mud.
Yeah, so
And
apparently...
Then on the other one draws a big-ass dick.
I help accentuate the dick drawing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Gaisovich.
I was just saying that this lasts indefinitely until I dismiss it or try to do more than 3. So they can't get rid of what I did.
Message forever there. All right, then. So I'm gonna guess that everybody's gonna go back into the tavern.
Oh yeah. Gotta go. I have to be present when they go back out to see this. So of course.
I'm gonna see if I can see the people that were talking about missing villagers. And I'm still chuckling a little bit to myself. Like, this has been fun. Like, this has been the most fun I've had in weeks. But I got a chuckling walk up to the people who were talking about the missing people. I'm like, before I got distracted, I meant to ask you all a question.
So that being said.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Audacia. My better half and I have a FlossTube channel, which is a podcast about needlepoint crafting, over on YouTube called The Slovak Farm. I also stream live on Twitch Saturdays and Sundays, and during the afternoon playing various games that fit my fancy.
Hi, I'm Gaisovich, and I play Dr. Pharaohs Hyloon of the DNDOOFS. A little about me: I make short-form, funny D&D videos, as well as run my own D&D campaigns called Blood of the Father and Digimon World Evolution. I make a lot of homebrew that I post on D&D Beyond, as well as my Patreon, where I also post a ton of maps for virtual tabletops. I am also working on a free handbook for a Digimon-themed 5e supplement, and lastly, I stream a random assortment of indie games and RPGs on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch if you're interested. I hope you're enjoying the DNDOOFS, and come say hi during the stream sometime.
Well, hey there, everybody. Mr. Announcer and
Random Skull?
And we're here to let you know that Asian Pasha Gamer also streams live on Twitch 5 days a week, and sometimes on YouTube.
And if you want to continue to support Asian Father Gamer, check out the links for his Twitch and his YouTube, all in the link tree.
That's right. Check out those links.
Alrighty then. So, in this instance, what happens is y'all back in the bar. And of course, everybody else is back in the bar. And so are the Bucky Bot boys. You see them...
What about the two people we scared shitless and stole their bag of money and shit? Did they just, dip out, or did they dip out into the bar?
No, they dipped out. They're gone. They're long gone. They ran for it. Like they straight up ran for it. That's what Oren did.
Whoops.
He got.
You rolled a 20, dude. What'd you expect?
No, I didn't roll a natural 20. I have a +6 to intimidation. I'm a bard.
I know.
It gets worse than a 22.
All right. So, you guys are back in the bar. You see at the bar, the Bucky Bot boys are ordering their drinks, and they're being loud and rambunctious, of course, talking about their robots. Oh my god, our robots are such the best robots. I know. You boys are being so loud, but we're the best. And, alongside them, you see two of the bartenders who are tending to them, looking extremely annoyed because they're sick and tired of hearing about the Berkey Bot boys. But they also like money. And you see them just dropping gold coins left and right as tip. And as they're talking, you still hear from two of the tables right next to Oren, Carousel, and Saphira talking about the missing people that are becoming more common in town. Are any of you currently actively listening for this?
Talking about us standing the table next to us, talking about the disappearing people that's becoming more common.
How much do I go up to them?
All right, what do you do when you go up to them?
I go, excuse me, people are disappearing?
And one of them will turn to you, and they are one of the many dwarves that are in that were just part of the tavern. They look like a weathered adventurer wearing leather armor, holding an axe holstered on their back, and one of their eyes is actually missing. And they look at you and go, "Aye, there be people getting missing here on the daily. And it started off with just homeless, and yet it seems to be changing. Last night we seem to have lost a child."
Shit.
And then after he finishes speaking, his companion, who is a seemingly human, seems like a ranger, wearing a hood, has a bow holstered on their side, and some very odd colored arrows. And they speak as they say, "Aye, and not only has there been a child missing, there's also one of the grandparents to the mayor who just got taken."
Being a ranger, does Carousel notice anything special about the odd colored arrows?
Roll for Arcana.
Ah, well, shit.
Can we hear a good portion of this from the table we're at? Maybe not all of it, but some of it. Anyway.
Are you actively listening?
How loud are the Buggy Bot boys?
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely at first I was sneering at the Berkey Bot boys for sure. But if it's loud enough that I could tune in without trying to eavesdrop, I guess.
So you hear some offhand bits of the conversation here and there. You hear that a child is missing. You hear that another person is missing, but you didn't hear the specifics of that other person.
Yeah, I'll tune in some then for sure.
So, that Arcana check, how's a nat 1 with a -1 in Arcana?
They're pretty. Ooh, they're different
Wait.
colors.
The ranger has a -1 intelligence?
Yes, but there's reasons why.
You notice they're different colors. That's about as far as you get.
Pretty.
The only thing that you notice that's different about them is that they sparkle a little.
Sparkly!
I'm sorry, but that's all I can give you.
I know. And the best part is, you know what the best part is?
Pretty color.
He's a fucking squirrel, so he is looking at the sparkly arrows.
Anyways, Oren, you were about to say something?
I was gonna be like, is anything being done to try to find out what's going on?
So the dwarf speaks up. Aye, the local township has been asking us adventurers have been walking in, whether or not we'd be willing to help. Most of us, though, we don't have time. We have to get to the capital. The king has asked for our help, but they're seemingly quite desperate. The only issue is, it's a matter of coin. They have none.
What are they offering then?
Their hopes and their prayers.
At that, Carousel snaps himself out of the sparkly arrow trance and turns over to Pharos and Roke and whatever conversation they're having because there's no money in this.
Pharaoh's, how loud are the Buggy Bot boys being?
Yes, sorry if I did not answer that. So the Bucky Bot boys are still being a little bit rambunctious, but they've quieted down because they have their drinks and they're enjoying them, and they are staring at Roke disapprovingly, making snide little whisperings that you can't necessarily make out, but they snigger between each little bit as they point and laugh.
That's fine, as long as they weren't being like too loud. If they were being too loud, I was gonna go doctor mode and say something, but if they've contained a little bit, they're a non-issue.
Yes, to go. I'm gonna regret this. I don't even know if I have anybody to go with me. Who is trying to organize the locals?
The elf speaks up at the moment. Well, that would be the mayor and the mother of the child that's gone missing.
What time of day is it?
It is currently midday. The sun is high. The sky is clear.
I sigh, turn around, and walk back to the people I was just hanging out with a look on my face. I'm going to be heading to the village, and I don't know if any of you would care to join me. There seems to be a problem in town, but there's no gold in it, so nobody's taking the job.
If there's no gold in it, then why would we want to take the job? First off, what is the job?
A relative of the mayor and a child have gone missing, among many others.
That got Saphira's attention.
And I personally, a child's in danger. I'm gonna go get myself killed if I go by myself. I know I don't know you guys very well, but I can't do this by myself, but I can't leave a kid in this situation. It's just outside of what I'm capable of doing.
Can't promise I want to get involved, but I mean, at least give you guys a ride.
Can't commit all of my time, but I can give some time to help, I guess. I'm not doing anything else at the moment.
Looks over at the squirrel and the Saphira.
Saphira looks at Carousel. This is gonna be fun to fucking play. Carousel, what do you want, Saphira? There's no gold in this. I have no interest in this. You know, it sucks, yes, but we can't live off of no gold. Hence the reason we were doing the fights in the first place. We are broke, Carousel. You know where I come from. Helping people is what we should do.
Pharos wants to interject as they're talking. It's like, if they have the resources to kidnap people at this level, they probably have stuff worth taking.
Carousel looks at Pharos. Yeah, but we don't even know who, what, or what's going on, or...
I'm only asking that we go and talk with them and see if we can help. And maybe we can ask them for some food so that you don't have to worry about starving. Just get the stuff you would spend the money on from them.
Carousel's thinking about it, and Saphira loses her patience a bit. And up until now, she's sounded like a upper-class butler style, you know? And that breaks a little bit. Carousel! Now, you know where I come from. We are going to go do this. I don't care what you say. I will carry your ass if we don't. And there's a little bit of thunder in her voice. And Carousel just goes, okay, sure. I guess we're going.
I look over at Roke and I go, thank you for offering to give us a ride.
Yeah, of course.
And I kind of whisper, can you, when those wheels spin, do they fling rocks? Like, do the back wheels spin?
Oh, yeah. Lots of flinging rocks.
So do you want to, back up to those metal monstrosities and then go really fast?
I'll do you one better, even.
Okay.
Not going to lie, being able to ride in the cart is kind of part of the reason I want to go as well.
Yeah, there's definitely, for my own guy's sense of, he's not the most helpful dude, but definitely a sense of, some interest, and there's always some adventure to be had and intrigue. So
Yeah, my character heard missing child, and that was all he needed to hear.
Saphira's backstory has some stuff to do with protection, so.
Alrighty then. So y'all make your way out to the front, and the elf and dwarf duo, kind of salute you away as you are doing something noble, but they're not gonna do it. And
I salute back and go, good luck with the king.
as you guys all make your way out,
Since Carousel wasn't paying attention when you were talking to them, he kind of does a little jump and looks around when you say king.
Do I notice that?
roll for perception. Actually, wait, are you looking at him?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because I say that as I say king as I'm turning forward. Like I'm kind of like in between the two, looking at both of them. That's why I'm asking.
Roll for perception at disadvantage.
Flying dice.
Flying dice. I don't think that's a number.
while he's retrieving that, what is the arrangement of the golems outside? Like, how are they parked?
Double 9, so 11.
Okay, so for the roll, you don't necessarily notice anything like drastic. What you do notice is that there was some kind of reaction. That's all you do notice.
Yeah.
As for the Bucky Pot boys and the golems, they are essentially parked right next to you, 2 by 2, standing next to each other, right next to your car, or your carti. But as you guys step out, you hear from behind the tavern screams, loud, shrilling screams.
I guess I'll go. I literally take wing and fly over the tavern, unless it's faster
for
than
sure.
going along the side.
I'll for sure inquire, because you don't not look at death-curdling screams.
Saphira pops her wings and fucking takes flight too. And Carousel is surprised by it and holding on to her collar as she's flying.
Hey there, everybody. Mr. Announcer here. I want to take a moment of your time to let you know that there are ways that you can support Asian Fasha Gamer with direct donations through Cash App and PayPal. And you can make requests with these donations. They will be treated as priority requests for short-form content on YouTube and on TikTok. We thank you for your support, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
For the next episode, our heroes hear a blood-curdling scream. What will they find? What will they be? Oh, well, you're just gonna have to come on the next episode to find out of the DNDOOFS. Alright, thank you all so much. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday for the Bunch of Goofs Livecast podcast. Bye-bye.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the DNDOOFS. Let's take a second to say thank you to our cast. And thank you to you, the viewer. And if you enjoyed, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And DNDOOFS is recorded live on Twitch every other Friday. Check out the links if you want to continue to support us as a podcast. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.